regional finals of the League of Legends Season 2 Championship. There is a ton at stake for this event. These top 3 finishers are going on to the grand finals in Los Angeles, California. And this weekend alone, there is $150,000 to be won. This is hosted by Intel Extreme Masters, and I'll be your stage host, Rachel Seltzer-Cuerco. It is my distinct pleasure to inform you all that we will have a ton of coverage available for you at home on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook. And it is also my pleasure to invite to the stage the VP of Riot Esports, Mr. Dustin Beck. Dustin, looking out at this crowd, at the hundreds of thousands of people that we know are watching at home, did you ever think Riot Esports would be this big?
You know, we never expected it to get this big. We were very hopeful, but it's such a humbling experience to see all you fans out there live here and all the fans out on the stream watching. Can't thank you guys enough for supporting our game, and every day at Riot we work on making the game better and better for all you guys out there.
Now, we have an incredibly unforgiving bracket this weekend. These players had a grueling trip here, and now everything is on the line to get to the finals. Can you please inform us what is at stake at this event?
Yeah, you know, we switched up the format a bit. No more double elimination. Every game counts, guys. The action this weekend is going to be non-stop. It's going to be great, and you're right. The stakes have never been higher. The top 3 winners of this event are not only going to go on to the World Finals, they're also going to be qualified for our Season 3 Championship Series.
It's absolutely incredible what you guys are doing for esports. For all these fans out there, is there anything you'd like to say?
I just want to thank you guys for all coming out here. Again, we have an action-packed weekend ahead of us. There's going to be great games. It's going to be non-stop. It's going to be awesome. So root for your teams and have a blast, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dustin. And thank you, Riot Games. Riot brought an incredible staff here this weekend. If you see anyone in a Riot shirt, feel free to walk up, shake their hand, and say thank you, because they're just as happy to bring you this event as you are to be here. Also in the crowd, we have a special treat for you. Joe, D-Man, are you out there?
We are here, somewhere in the middle of the audience. What we're going to be doing throughout this event is giving away lots of free stuff. We've got a jungle-only t-shirt here to give away for each map today. Demon, you know, we get 1 t-shirt each before these events, but these guys get more per day.
They're going to get a lot more than we are, that's for sure. Maybe we're going to have to, we have to beg for these t-shirts, but we're just going to give them away.
Well, we've got 2 lucky guys here in the audience who may have a chance at picking up one of these t-shirts. So first of all, what's your name and where do you come from?
My name is Philip and I'm from Austria.
From Austria. Did you drive here or fly?
Fly.
Ah, lucky you, I suppose. So what are you excited for most here at the Season 2 Regionals for Europe?
I'm really excited about the whole team, the event itself. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the whole event.
So what about this game? You're going to be betting against your friend here. You get the first choice, so lucky you. Curse or Fnatic, and if you win, you get the t-shirt.
Hard to say, but I'll go with Fnatic.
Scoreline doesn't really count, but who knows? Throw it out there.
Yeah, it's going to be close, so 2-1.
My name is Matthias.
Matthias, you just seen, what do you think? So he's going with Fnatic. That's a big call. It's a tough game to call straight away. Who are you going to go with?
I actually think Curse is going to win, but it is going to be really, really close.
Any score prediction?
I also think it will be 2-1.
2-1. I tell you what, Joe, I don't know which way I'm going to take this one either.
To be honest, I'm glad I'm not betting for this because I've got no idea who's going to win this one. I think this is probably the closest game in the first round of this bracket. But anyway, enough of us. Let's get it over. Back to the stage to bring the players on. Back to you, Rachel.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce the real stars of this event, the gamers. First up, we have Team Fnatic. captains, if you'll join me over here. The rest of you, you can take your seats. Come to me. The rest of you may sit. We have some talking to do. Now, Peke, your team was out in Korea training. Do you think that gave you a bit of an advantage here?
No, I don't think so. It's an advantage. For sure it's some training, but it's not a real advantage.
Then what's going to allow you to win over your opponent?
What's going what?
What's going to allow you to win over your opponent?
We'll just play our best game and try to go for it.
And you, sir, what would it mean to your team to win this event?
Our goal, our point of this whole event.
And do you have any words for Team Fnatic?
May the stronger one wins.
May the stronger team win. Gentlemen, you can take your seats. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand it off to Rivington Bruce Bislin III and David Freak Turley over in the caster booth.
Hello and welcome to Gamescom Hall 8. Here and at home, you are now in the League of Legends booth. Are you ready for some league action? I'm Rivington Bislin III, and with me, as always, is David Freak Turley.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Germany if you're watching online. If you're here in person, most of you are probably German, but otherwise, welcome to Germany. And this is awesome. This is going to be one of the best events I've ever been a part of. I was talking to a lot of the players backstage. I was talking to some of the rioters as we were getting over here from the hotel. And the general idea was this is probably the most important games in these players' lives. These are actually life-changing matches. With Season 3, sort of seeding on the line here, where you're going to be a salaried player playing the game professionally full-time, that's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Really, really big deal. And some of these teams, sure, they've got big sponsorships and they are playing close to professionally, but to actually have this be your job is a really, really big deal. And it starts here. We've got seeds 4 and 5 from the European Challenger Circuit. Fnatic Raid Call, 4th place. Curse Gaming Europe, 5th. And it's a best of 3. And if they lose 2 maps, they're out. And their hopes are dashed. They're not winning more prize money. They're not going on to the Season 2 championship. They've got to qualify sometime later for Season 3. But if you win here, you're on to the semifinals. There's going to be 4 teams in the semifinals, and 3 of them are making it on. So you win today. You win this best of 3. You've got a 3 out of 4 chance of making it onto the matches in the rest of the weekend and make it on to Season 3. Extremely, extremely important. These games are going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, they're going to be huge, and it's something we really haven't seen before that really puts these teams neck and neck. It's happened sometimes, but the single elimination tournament, there is no room for mistakes here. Yes, you may be able to come out in that loss in the first game and bring it back and regroup on what happened, but you only get that one mistake, as the round robin play or just a pool play would give you more chances. So going into this, I think we're going to see off the bat particularly different play.
Oh yeah, it's all out right now. And you've got, of course, heavy favorites like Moscow 5 and Counter Logic Gaming Europe, but you've got a lot of phenomenal teams, and everyone can beat everyone. All these teams have been practicing incredibly hard. You've got a lot of, honestly, underrated underdogs, where, even right here, where Curse is the 5th seed, but Fnatic's the 4th, so you'd think they'd be better. Curse has beaten them in the last few matchups. Back at DreamHack in June this year, Curse beat them 2-1 in the 3rd place match, and now, this is to stay alive in this tournament. This is a very big deal, and you know that these teams are going to be practicing extremely hard, and it's going to be phenomenally close. And on that, actually, since we saw them last at DreamHack, Fnatic picked up a new support player. Melson went to go take studies. He's back at school. But they dropped Phalanx and they added N-Rated, who's a phenomenal German support player. And so they've actually got a bit of a new lineup here on Fnatic Raid Call. But Curse, of course, again, the heavy favorites. They've beaten them a lot in a row. And so can they bring out something special? And I talked to Curse actually backstage, and they said, and I asked them, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about Fnatic? 2. A 2 out of 10 worried. So Curse coming in phenomenally confident. Fnatic, they won Season 1. They won last year. They won it all. They won $100,000. It's just going to be, who's going to do better here?
Curse is one of the organizations that has been, growing the quickest. We saw TSM and a few other houses, or a few other teams grab those houses, but Curse just bolstering once more. They grabbed that house now down in California, and still the EU team doing strong as well. So as the team grows as a whole, it really helps the mentality around the world, knowing one team is strong, the other team is, just as strong. You have a world dominant force to come out and play with, and that's what these guys have really shown. And we even saw saw when during the Summer Arena that I believe was World Elite that said they were really most scared of Curse. So just all around the board, Curse brings a beautiful roster to the playing field.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, this is all top-class play around all of these guys. And you know, I can't pick a favorite because you're just going to see a different level of play today. You know, these teams are all phenomenally good. You're seeing interesting strategies. You're seeing, you know, a lot of devotion to researching the other team and saying, yes, you know, Xpeka, we know his favorite 3 champions. We know what he's weak against. We know what he likes to do. And these teams know these things about each other. But at the same time, these teams can go back, can practice with you know, trusted practice partners, people who aren't playing in this tournament, and say, we trust you not to tell our opponents what we're going to do, but we're going to try something new. We're going to bring something out that you're not aware of. And these teams all are going to want to do that, especially the teams that are considered underdogs here, where they know they tend to lose these straight-up fights. They're going to pull out some crazy things. And I've actually heard a lot of rumors. For example, Shushe on Elo Hell apparently plays AP Evelyn mid, for example. So there's going to be some interesting things up here on these lineups, and there's no guarantees. There's really no guarantees. You've got people who respect each other, of course, but it's a big question mark. You've got one best of 3 determining, are you going to move on or are you going to fail?
How do we feel looking at these ADs, Lamia, Slepper? Lamia loves that Ashe. What is Slepper's real, you know, staple to bring out in the match?
You know, I don't actually remember his main champions, unfortunately. I'm sorry that I don't. But categorically, if you want to beat up an Ashe pretty much, you know that she's not going to pick an aggressive support like Tarek or like a Leona, because you're not going to have a lot of good synergy there. And so, for one, you could see, oh, what support do they pick? Well, we know Ashe isn't coming out, for example. But on the other way, you can also counter lane that champion by picking a very aggressive lane as well, something like Leona Corki. Or you take it another way and you say, we know you won't be aggressive because you're playing Ashe. We'll pick something late game like Vayne or Kog'Maw, and we know that our lane's going to be safe because you're going to go like Soraka or Sona or something, you know, a little bit less hostile, and we'll farm up and we'll kind of get ourselves to a late game. So there's a lot of options here. If you know a favorite champion, for example, like Lamia with Ashe, you've got a lot of other opportunities here where you know, you can counteract that either by countering the champion or countering the play style or banning out options that would supplement that champion pretty well. So, I mean, there's millions of opportunities here for these players to pick and ban certain champions and to make the game work in a way they want it to. And the only way to really know that answer is to wait and see what happens.
All right, so how do we feel about the jungle? Malino, Xpeka.
Well, so one thing I did ask Curse actually was, you know, who are you actually afraid of on Fnatic? And there are basically 2 answers. So one was Xpeka, right? So mid player, you know, phenomenal mage player. The other was Cyanide. And he was saying that Cyanide carries Fnatic. And that took me by surprise. I didn't actually realize that you know, that was how their team sort of revolved. And normally you don't consider junglers like the carries of a team. But Curse was like, oh yeah, dude, Cyanide's like the best player. He's kind of a big deal. And he plays all sorts of crazy things. I mean, he's been playing jungle professionally for over a year, right? He's been on the Fnatic, the Season 1 winning team. I mean, 3/5 of these players have been on that team. And actually, if you count Soaz, he was against them against All Authority back there, back at Season 1. So these guys are no strangers to top-level competition, and they're gonna know everything. You can't win a global championship and expect to win, you know, the next season's European championship without knowing everything you could possibly do, without having that great level of knowledge and just the giant roster that comes with being a top-level player. So you can't count anything really out from Cyanide, aside from the fact that the guy is going to be really, really scary. And Malino, a phenomenal player. I know some of his top played are definitely up there with Nocturne. Like, he loves to fighter junglers.
Love Malphite at DreamHack.
Oh, of course, yeah. And you know, Malphite kind of came up as a big deal suddenly, as a very common jungler as well. So you kind of see both these players. I don't want to say they have any strong preferences. I think they can all play almost everything. And that's what happens when you're a top-level player, is you know all of them. And it's going to be determined by your team composition and what your team needs, more so than, well, I play Lee Sin the best. Right? It's going to be, well, I play Lee Sin really well, and Maokai really well, and Malphite really well, and Nocturne really well, and Shyvana really, and the list goes on. I mean, if he said, oh, I'm a really good jungle Ashe, I would not be surprised. These guys are phenomenal. They know every champion in the roster. And favorite champions, I don't think they get to exist right now. Like, you've got to pick what works for your team. You've got to pick what works against the enemy team. And you're going to have some crazy things going on for sure. You're not going to have anything, there's not going to be anything guaranteed.
All right, and it looks like we will be jumping into that champion select. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this down and see what the picks and bans are for these teams. Like Freak was saying, they know the champion pools. They know what's going on, and we're going to see direct bans towards Aurelia and Kassadin right off the bat.
Yes, they're immediately dropping out some very interesting choices here. So the one thing that's interesting from the Nunu ban is he plays 3 roles. He's a phenomenal jungler, a phenomenal support, and one of the best top laners in the game as well. That kind of came out of nowhere in the last month or so as top lane Nunu became a really, really big deal. And so you're seeing a lot of interesting bans kind of getting dropped out here. And some of them are going to be aimed at the fact that Fnatic has first choice. That when all the chips are down, when the picks start, Fnatic gets to pick the very first champion in the game. And if there is a champion that has no good counter, or the counter's already been banned, Curse needs to realize that and drop out that option. And there, I think, is why you're seeing the Alistar getting dropped out there. Though Malino is a phenomenal jungle Alistar player. And of course, Alistar could be a support too, but most often as a jungler, they're like, we're not giving that cyanide. That dude's scary.
Yeah, Alistar out of the jungle, so formidable, and it's just at level 2, he has all his abilities to shut you down in lane. Yeah. He doesn't even need to get heal first, and then in between his abilities, the passive and trample, still dealing damage. So it's just one after the other, so very effective at that low level. And we do see that Ahri is onto the board, and we are going to get Soaz picking that down for expecting.
Yeah, so right away, you're seeing the mid lane being grabbed. This is one of the things that happens sometimes, is you need to pick a safe champion right off the bat, where Ahri has no terrible matchups, she has some hard countering matchups, she's really good against a few of those mid lane champions, but you pick Ahri and you know you're not going to get shut down by default, and so you can pick that one up and say, and it's kind of 2 ways you can think about it, is one, I can pick a champion and say, yeah, right, this is the best champion of the game, come at me, bro. Or it's like, well, hold on, because you can react with anything at this point, right? Everything's available, I'll pick something that will work, and I'll put this Ahri, and you can play something mid, but it's okay. I'm Ahri, I'll be okay, I can sustain. We'll move on from here. And you're seeing a lot of really amazing picks coming out from Curse right after that with Shen and Ezreal. A lot of mobility already put on the map for Curse.
Yeah, looking at a lot of global map presence as well. Ulti from both of them is going to be able to do damage wherever they need it to go. Shen obviously shielding that damage. And there we do have the Malphite pick. So that will not go to Curse. We do see they have taken Shen. It looks like that's going to be a nice stop there. That's also very nice for Ezreal. Ground Slam is going to be able to slow that attack speed. So we'll have to see. That's going to have to go really in conjunction with picks Curse has to go with. They're going to say, yeah, we want to get inside with a few more melee, but is that going to be shut down by Malphite? So that's a great pick by them, and just a lot of presence from that champion himself. Corki, again, this team is focusing on a lot of mobility with that Ahri Corki. Those 2 powerful carries that they're going to have on the team are able to get in and out of the fight when necessary.
Yeah, and there's about 3 cool things that happen right here with what Fnatic just grabbed. So one, let's talk about Malphite. Malphite is a great top laner. He's also a great jungler. And right now, Fnatic have not played their cards yet. They don't know where Malphite's going, so they can't go top lane Jax, because Jax will get destroyed by Malphite. Now, that might be top lane Shen, and that's fine. And again, Shen can also jungle or top lane, so that's a really good move from Curse as well. But Malphite here could be anywhere on the map right now. But Corki, and also an interesting grab here, Corki is actually Yellow Star's best attack damage carry. And I know I just said favorite champions aren't going to matter. Okay, apparently I'm wrong. Yellow Star really loves that Corki pick, really loves that champion. That's what he's going to be grunting here.
So this is going to work out well for them. They just picked up a lot of CC. That crowd control from Morgana's ultimate, Soul Shackles, and Dark Binding, as well as the Dazzle from Taric. And you have Shen coming in as well with the taunt after all of that to happen, unless he initiates with it. So that's a lot of shutdown to the team that wants to get away. So that's perfect right there. And wait a minute, we do see that they are going to be going Soraka, and the support will be possibly Yona as they switch back and forth. They are just kind of milling about here and playing with the minds of Curse at this point, leaving Curse with that last pick, and it is kind of an advantage to have that. You can round off your composition with something that will semi-counter everybody or focus a counter that's really going to help shut down the team. But right now, a beautiful team, a beautiful composition from both teams.
Yeah, I really like what Fnatic is grabbing right here. So right now it looks like they're sending Malphite into the jungle, and they're grabbing Leona for the support. And this actually plays both in what Yellow Star grabbed and into what N-Rated likes to do. N-Rated loves to play aggressive supports. We were actually calling, I was talking again with players backstage before the tournament started, and so yeah, N-Rated loves to play Leona, other aggressive supports like that. And Leona Corki is a tried and true bottom lane composition. It's really up there with Taric Ezreal. They're both very aggressive, but yet very mobile team compositions for just that bottom lane matchup. Either of these teams can blow up that other lane very, very quickly. Leona Corki can jump on Taric or jump on Ezreal, kill him very quickly. Ezreal Taric can jump on Corki, blow him up very fast as well. And with that grab on Jace, I'm expecting Jace to be in the top lane and Malphite sent into the jungle. And now we're going to see the final grab for Curse.
You know what, Chase may be coming out of the jungle. The amount of utility he gives his team by laying down that wall, the speed up, more mobility was just given to this team by one ability of a champion. So that's huge for them. And that's really going to help. It's like having a Shurelia's whenever you want it, initiate or get out of a fight. That's going to be great for them. And we do see that they have Cleanse on Lamia, so as he gets Corki, he's going to be playing a very safe mode because you do see the amount of crowd control from Curse. Yeah, I really do like Curse's lineup. It feels very solid. Yes. I don't see any like phenomenal like sort of one-pronged attacks. Like it's not like a Twisted Fate composition where you really will work on, you know, ganking lanes out of nowhere, split pushing out of nowhere. You don't have something quite to that extent, but you've got a phenomenal team fight presence. Most of that team can initiate. Shen, Morgana, Dr. Mundo a little bit, Tarek as well. You've got great initiation there where you can pick up a target and jump on him very quickly. And when that fight starts, Shen's got an area of effect taunt. Dr. Mundo is going to run in the front, soak up a bunch of damage. Ezreal's ultimate, again, area of effect, doing a lot of damage to everyone in that fight. And of course, Morgana. Morgana, that Soul Shackles, as you just said, is a phenomenal asset in a team fight. She jumps in there, pops her ultimate. If you're close by, she puts a tether on you, deals damage and slows you. If you don't run the heck away and break that tether, you're getting stunned in a couple of seconds, and it ruins your day in a fight. You stack that up with Tarek and Shen, who's going to lock you in place. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be a very easy battle for Fnatic here. Curse's lineup is great. It's just a lot of good synergies, a lot of great picks. It's just a solid, team fight-oriented lineup. Meanwhile, on Fnatic, you've got a lot of very interesting disparate parts. They're very burst-focused. Leona, Malphite, Corki, just jumping on top of you, bursting your face down. They'll kill you in 2 seconds flat. They've got so much ranged initiation. I said a little bit ago, Morgana and Tarek and Shen can initiate, and they cannot initiate like Fnatic can. Fnatic's roster is crazy for getting at you about 1,000 range away from the corner of the screen. If they see you, they can jump on you. Twice. And they can destroy, they can jump on you
Leona
twice.
and Malphite.
And it will be painful. Their mobility is phenomenal. Their ability to get at you from far away is phenomenal. So I would categorize Fnatic's lineup as picking up kills from almost out of nowhere and blowing up 2 to 3 champions right away. But if Curse can kind of be safe, be grouped together, their ability to fight a 5-on-5 is very solid. It'll be very hard for Fnatic to pick apart.
And with what we've been seeing lately, aggression towards turrets, right in the beginning of the map, that Fnatic team roaming is going to be much more scary than that Curse team roaming.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's scary things everywhere.
So we do see as the players are getting poised and ready for that level 1, as we will see in about a minute here as we tick down. Looking at these teams, as you were saying, initiating from that 1,000 range, the crowd control that they can bring into it. Yeah. If they are able to stay on the outside, though, great poke from Melano, great poke from Slepper, as well as the Dark Bindings. And we've seen, Reginald go in with Dark Bindings to initiate the fight. He plays all of his AP champions, though the ability power very aggressive. So Extinct can definitely make some big plays for his team. Morgana is one that can suck up cooldowns from the other team, throw in Black Shield, get in there and kind of throw the other team off guard. And that's really what says let's start a fight. If they blow an 8-second cooldown, you could feel more confident about that fight. So I'll have to see that Curse is going to be doing that in their fights. They have Morgana running up to the front. They have Malano to just say, hey, I can take a little bit of damage and soak up these cooldowns. Because we actually have seen that quite a bit with Tarek supports or Soraka supports where they're like, hit me with everything you have, I'm still going to be alive, and my team has the upper hand now.
Yeah, the ability of Curse to survive if a fight goes badly for them. Like, let's say the game is 20 minutes in, and it's roughly even in gold. Yep. Curse can kind of choose to not die very easily. There's very few targets that Fnatic actually wants to focus here on this team. Killing Tarek first isn't really great for you because Tarek's a support. If you kill him right away, you're not dropping a lot of team fight presence off of that team. You try to burst down Shen, you're not going to burst down Shen. You try to burst down Mundo, you're not going to burst down Dr. Mundo. If you go for Ezreal or Morgana, those are some better choices, but Ezreal can Arcane Shift away, and Morgana, as you just said, has that Black Shield. He's probably going to go for a Rod of Ages or a Zhonya's Hourglass early on, be a bit tanky. It's actually, although Fnatic is about jumping on a target and blowing them up, their ability to pick good targets will be a little bit limited because Curse's lineup is either tanky or very, very evasive.
So let's take a look at this bot lane. N-rated, giving Corki a little bit more damage on that Leona burst passive as he takes off that light. So going against Curse, how do you think that's going to counter?
I don't know. It's going to be kind of up to how they ultimately play it. I think it's really going to be a player skill matchup, and
you know, I think we've kind of talked to death how the champions line up. It's going to be how the players play. And we're going to give it over to Rachel. She's going to have a couple of quick words.
It's the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the first game of the EU Regional Finals between Fnatic Raid Call and Curse EU.
There we go. Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We are here in Game 1 between Fnatic Raid Call and Curse Gaming Europe, and right off the bat, these teams are close together. You see N-Rated right across the wall right there, almost getting jumped on by that Curse lineup, but already Curse Gaming choosing to invade into Fnatic's jungle, dropping a couple of wards down, and they do love their aggressive early wards. Right now, they've warded one of Cyanide's pretty standard gank paths. It's right by his Lizard, right by his Wraith camp. They will see where he chooses to go very early on in the game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the crowd, let's hear who you would like to see win. If you would like to see Curse take Game 1, let me hear you.
All right, everybody, if you are a fan of Fnatic Raid Call and you want to see Fnatic move on and take this Game 1, let me hear you cheer.
A definitive Fnatic crowd, at least behind us. Definitely a very big crowd here in Hall 8 at Gamescom. If you are not here, you're missing out, but if you're at home, you're grabbing all the action, and we're going to paint beautiful pictures for you all weekend long, as well as Joe Miller and D-Man on the mic as well to bring you coverage on some games today. Freak and myself, Rivington III, bringing you this Game 1. 1 minute and 50 seconds into the match, we can see Fnatic Raid Call picking up the golems with Curse right actually above them, going for the red. I don't think they're going to know that they are there, and it looks like we may have a quick counter jungle to hurt Malino there to start off the game.
Yeah, great option here by Curse Gaming. Yeah, of course, yeah. They ran in, they stole away most of the Wraiths, and stealing with this Lizard buff as well. You can see that Cyanide right now is trying to take down his own Golem buff, and I don't believe he's used his own smite, so he's immediately going to run across the map and head to try to steal away Malino's Lizard buff. This is going to be the exact right play, and a great thought here by that Fnatic lineup to know what that early choice was and to counteract it.
Yeah, it's a great job just knowing the mechanics of the game, figuring out what was happening. They did get their wards down. They saw the movement was coming from the lower side of the map, and using that knowledge, he is now able to go and get himself a red buff. It's going to take him a little bit more time to get back to the jungle, but it's just what Mundo did, so he's going to be able to have that same pathing as well. A lot of aggression and auto attacks coming out left and right in the mid here as they poke each other down, and we can see the pings coming from Curse saying this would be the time that Malphite is done with that red buff.
Yeah, speaking of Malphite, he's actually run all the way to this top lane. He's going to be ganking with his teammate Jace, trying to pick up against Angush on Shen. He's still waiting around, and Shen is still up in his lane. But you can see in the corner of your screen right there, Malphite. He's going to come up to the side there. No, he's hiding back down. He's stalking. There we go. So as Anish getting up onto Shen, a knockback as well. The damage is on. Can they do enough damage? He dashes down. Back towards that turret, still pushing on. Can he do the damage? No. Angush will get away from that, but took a lot of damage. And here comes Malino.
There we go, Malino coming in to try and regroup this one. He knows Malphite's running away, so this is going to be a perfect time. He's going to give him a few seconds so Malphite can get far enough away, and now he is going to go in. Shen's going to taunt backwards, and he misses that to do most of the damage, but this is the longer side of the lane. Soaz has quite a run back to his turret, hits Malino out. Cyanide is still there to help him. Soaz does have Ignite, but he does not choose to use it. The taunt and flash required to be used by Angush, and now he is forced to play a safe lane against Soaz.
Dude, Soaz, that was dope. He was in a 1v2 and forced Shen's flash. Like, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing patience. That was amazing knowledge of the matchup. That was just great overall. And they're shoving Angush back to his turret. He will be able to last hit most of these, but it's going to give Soaz time to regroup and go back to his lane. Go back to the base, heal, buy some new items, and come back.
That's a great job by Top as well to push that hard. As we see a little bit of damage here, a beautiful dazzle onto Corki, and that was the right thing to do. Focus the AD. They were putting the damage on Zinnik. So Slepper was more than happy to come in. But as I was saying top, they knew Malinois is still there. So they're like, if we push this, we force him back to the lane, so he stops the creeps from going away and soaking up a little bit of experience. But now he's got to go back to his jungle. So wasting a little bit of time there. As they do that over and over, it will start to surmount.
Well, yeah, and if you look down at the minion kills at the very bottom of your screen, that Malphite, 8 minion kills. Dr. Mundo, 20. These are the same roles on their respective teams, and you can see that Malinois, by Dr. Mundo, is just out-golding his opponent right now. And that is going to be a very big deal, that being a bigger force. And again, Curse had just said that Cyanide, that jungler, the Malphite for Fnatic, he's the carry of that team. And if he's under-farming, that's going to really hurt your ability to carry.
We will have to see it. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The gold only difference by 200 as wards on bottom are starting to wear off. It's going to get a little bit more dangerous down there. And they were going to have to start playing more cautious. As I've always said, a good rule of thumb is never cross the river without that vision. And right now they have the tri-bush. So Curse EU feeling quite comfortable right now in the position to force this lane in. Not too much damage being traded here back and forth. Most of the mana has been used for escapes and small initiations. It looks like Malinois once again heading towards that top lane. Soaz playing very aggressive this matchup.
Yeah, well, he's winning on minions by about 10, but he's going to have to run away now. Enga's staying right below him. Dr. Mundo coming by as well. Can Soaz get away? He's going to try to... Oh, he gets taunted right away. Is he going to take too much damage? He's trying to run through that gate. He will. And he's going to just take an Ignite to the face, but he's saved his Summoner spells. And he's got 5 health potions in inventory. One has been used. He's got another 4 waiting for him. He's going to stay nice and healthy, keep himself up in this lane. Though he's still ahead in minions, he's got another wave to farm right here.
You know, as you said before, Soaz, he just did it again. He didn't flash, he played it calm. He switched forms, gave himself a little bit of resistance, threw down the gate, and just walked out of that one. No need to flash, no need to overextend and waste something you don't. So Soaz, although playing very aggressive, in his mental capacity right now is very calm.
Oh, absolutely. He's such a phenomenal player, and so is another one that Curse gave a lot of respect to, where you know, I was like, so, you know, do you guys know what you want to ban, what you want to pick, you know, what are they going to do? And he's like Soaz is not a guy you can predict. Soaz plays everything. He's just phenomenally versatile. I haven't seen Jace actually in a live tournament I think ever. This is like the first time I've seen him, and he's putting on a great showing with him right now. And we're seeing this mid lane. You know, that early Ahri pick did end up being safe. You can see both of them farming minions, 56 to 55 right now. All of them just gaining gold right now. Xpeka versus Extinct. They're just going to keep themselves farmed up. No one's jumping in for any kills just yet, but this might happen pretty soon.
So
they might start
wards,
running.
yeah, 2 wards there. They know who's going down. Red buff resetting. He didn't see it reset, so he doesn't know that he was there. He's going to pull it into the bush, or maybe he did. I think he did. They saw Ahri leave middle. They didn't like it, but bottom here, N-rated could be going down for first blood. And we are going to see Curse Gaming EU come up with that. It will be going to Extinct. Now finding Xpeka, just missing the infected cleaver. But he is going to be in ward range. They will know where he's going. The ward's going down everywhere, and we've seen this before. When the fights happen, it also becomes a fight of wards as well. Who can place it the best? Who's going to have the better vision? And it looks like they're going to go ahead and just give this to Malinois. He does use Smite. I thought that may have been used possibly for a take by Slepper and then a Dragon.
Yeah, this is a pretty smart choice there overall by Curse Gaming, where they had heavy ward coverage around that Lizard buff and said, we know when it respawns. Because Malinois himself took out the Lizard buff at the beginning of the game, they knew the timer. It's a 5-minute respawn. When you kill Lizard, they'll be back in 5 minutes, and they knew that. And they said, okay, we're coming back in 5 minutes. Bot lane, you're going to push and come up to Tri-Brush. Mid, you're going to push and come down through that Wraith camp. Malinois, you're going to lead the charge. You're going to jump in there. Angush on Shen, already level 6, could participate as well. His ultimate, that Shen, Stand United. When he casts it, he teleports to a friendly on the map, gives him a shield. Oh, that golem buff getting stolen away. Unfortunately, Morgana not going to wear that just yet.
The red buff tick taking it down there. And to point out, you know, Malphite and kind of Mundo work that same way with red buff. They come out of the jungle with pretty good presence to slow you, but then having that red buff just synergizes with their abilities times a million. Brutal strikes for a little bit more damage. Continuous ground slams into more charge. Ezreal throwing down the ultimate, possibly for attack speed to initiate here as Tard getting close. But it looks like they're just going to use that to push the lane as the initiation didn't really work out. And they may be going back here for a purchase.
Yeah, they're going to shut this lane down. Lamia and N-Rated going to try to last hit once again at their turret. Should be a pretty easy job. These are professional players who are very good at what they do. And turrets are not going to steal minions away from them. No, sir. But Anguish just shoved constantly. He is not liking this lane against Soaz right now. Even they grabbed that Shen early on. He was the very first champion that Curse grabbed, right? He was very, very popular last weekend at IPL. He's so far 100% pick rate at the European Regional. And Soaz was like, no, I got this with Jace. We'll be good.
Ooh, it looks like Malino may have the same idea as Expeke here, but he waits for Expeke to come up. He may find him. He feels a flash over. They do go for Ari's ulti, and they are able to take one to even the score at 10 minutes perfectly, 1-1. The gold equal at 12,000.
And the thing is, Pekka actually, I believe, uses Flash as well to be a part of that. And he didn't actually get the assist. He got actually comboed just by Soaz only. Now, Pekka did keep Mundo from diving in. He kind of got Maluno away, but that was just Soaz being a boss, basically.
It looks like back to middle. Cyanide saying, I'm going to soak up some of this experience. Is Extinct just on the outside? Not really one of those lanes. I mean, Ari can do a good amount of burst. Morgana can't trade that back, but for these guys to get into a fight back and forth, I feel they just come out at 10% health and not want to do it again.
Well, the one thing right here, there's an option for Extinct to go for a fight because he knows that the Flash and the ultimate are down for Ari. Ari's ultimate is what gives her such great mobility. She can dash 3 times in about 15 seconds, but it has about a 1.5 minute cooldown. So he's got a time where Ari cannot move herself around quickly. And if Morgana walks up to you and it hits that ultimate, you're gonna go down.
And I really like the ward positioning by Curse here. They have diagonals on both wraiths, just one in the other. That leaves Morgana to really push the lane, know when she can grab Ari's wraiths, and know that nobody's coming around her backside if she's doing that as well. So that for Morgana just leaves that lane at such an advantage as you continue to push. We've seen how much Curse has spent down towards the red buff and the wraiths area, and that's really giving them a big advantage here as their top lane isn't doing so well. They're making sure mid and bottom are faring well.
Oh, absolutely. You're seeing that even though Soaz is dominating 91 to 62 in minions, the gold is only 100 apart right now. And sneaking to this top lane, Cyanide back into that top lane, wants to camp onto Anguish. He is level 6 on Malphite, which means his unstoppable force is ready. He will charge like the Kool-Aid man and knock you up into the air. And there it is! Oh, he flashes it! Anguish flashes away, but Soaz still going to dive in. Can they do the damage? One hit from Dead. Can Cyanide land the attack? He's been exhausted. He's going to land it anyway. That kill being picked up by Soaz. And now it's Malino in a 1v2. Cyanide trying to run away, getting slowed down by Cleavers. He's not liking this right now. Still running. Extinct coming in from the side. Another Cleaver lands. Cyanide not able to get away, and that will be a 1-for-1. Excellent counterattack by Malino.
Yeah, that was a beautiful job. Malino has actually been in just every position during these counter games. The wards are giving them such an advantage to turn these around and make sure it either happens in their favor or everything is even all when they leave it. It was 1-1 at 12,000. Now it's 2-2 at 15,500.
Yeah, and there's still neck and neck. Trades are going back and forth, and you can see where the kills are going too. It's Dr. Mundo and Morgana doing work by themselves, kind of taking down Fnatic members, and it's Soaz with 2 kills on that poor little Shen. So, you know, we're going to see who can snowball ahead right now, because right now it's Soaz going to be the major carry here. 97 minion kills, 2 champion kills himself. You know he's got to be rich right now. But you're seeing a lot of farm on the other sides as well. Now we can see the gold, 3,900 gold. He is actually not the richest member of the team. That's gonna go to Morgana here, played by Extinct for Curse EU, 4,200 gold.
That's going to be huge. She has that money to spend right now. She goes back. Extinct taking damage. True Shot Barrage going out, just hitting N-rated. Can he get out in time? Corky trying to stay in front of the Mystic shots. Very nice job playing shield for Leona in that situation.
That was exactly the right play there by Lamia. The trade back and forth was neck and neck. Everyone got extremely low. But Lamia, instead of attacking, ran straight down and made sure he could block Slepper from using any more Mystic shots.
So Zenic rather going back there, taking a good amount of damage, and as I said before, that Taric is more than happy to take all of your damage, and that's what he did right there, leaving Ezreal to True Shot Barrage, and then just continue into the fight. Malinu coming back here, looking for wards, the Oracles at 14 minutes, and he does have 1 GP10 on him, so he chooses to go for that. Very nice for him. That gold generation item is going to allow him to get the gold back he spent on that Oracles, and the gold he's going to get from this ward that spotted him right here.
Yeah, this is a really good choice here by Curse, and I've always known this team as one who is very, very good at taking control of map vision. We saw what they did at level 1. They invaded, they put those wards down by that Wraith camp to watch what Cyanide was doing. They put those wards down for the steal at the Lizard buff. They have done everything phenomenally from a map vision standpoint. And already the early Oracle's Elixir, again, giving that Dr. Mundo, that Malino true sight, to allow him to see invisible units such as enemy wards. It's going to allow him to just sweep vision away and leave Fnatic blind.
And you know, for not having as much ward coverage as he should down in that river, I guess they have what they need. Soaz doing so much. Usually you say, all right, my turret's down, I can farm back here. But he's still in his face. XP, oh, going down by the Ignite. Take a beautiful job on Extinct. Pushes through, knows he didn't need to go to the turret. That was a beautiful job there as he continues to push down on the turret.
In fact, we can actually go through the instant replay here of what happened in that mid lane, where Extinct did, in fact, take that kill down onto Xpeka. Seeing Cyanide actually taking a bit of harass here in this mid lane. And he's going to be just chilling out and surviving a little bit against Extinct for now.
And Mundo, again, Malino coming up top.
And here we go, he's going to go for the gank attempt onto Soaz. Takes a cleaver to the face. And Soaz will indeed have to back off. All right, you can see this replay here in this mid lane. Pekka has got Golem buff, has flash, an amazing Dark Binding. Black Shield blocks the charm. And Pekka just was not ready for that one. That was phenomenal play by Extinct. That was beautiful, beautiful play. That was exactly the right way of doing that.
That was a great play right there, and we see jumping back here.
Yeah, back up to live we are.
Very nice trying the Dark Binding again. Extinct landing those and able to get the kills for himself. Soaz still pushing face to face up top against Anguish. Slepper and Zenik rather, in this lane, they've been aggressive. They've been keeping the lane at that 75% mark, and you can see where N-Rated is standing, so the minions hit him, trying to keep him off of that turret, so Lamia can get that CS. 155 to 129. Slepper's aggression has just allowed him to push these minions into that turret.
And Malino just constantly sweeping these wards out, so that no matter where Fnatic is, they've got to be afraid, because Dr. Mundo is a champion that can dive onto turrets and just not care. He has enough armor and health, and in fact, speaking of dives, Curse right now coming in for a flank on Fnatic, and they're going around to the left-hand side. They know there's a ward to the right, so they're coming through here. They will not get spotted by minions, and they're coming right behind this Fnatic lineup. Curse have pushed it down to the turret. Here comes Extinct. The Dark Binding will miss, but they will jump in onto Zinnik. Lamia was stunned. Will he go down? That's going to be one kill.
Will they be able to find him? She goes up. They do have vision on that. They don't anymore. Blind Dark Binding. And they are able to take out N-Rated. A beautiful job. Extinct having an amazing skill shot game right now.
Uh-oh, and Pekka gets stunned by Tarek as well, but she is far enough away that Ahri will survive.
Ahri going in strong, trying to use her ultimate to push mid as they know they're going for that dragon. They want to try to equal out the gold here a little bit, try to take it down. Morgana going back up to throw down the dark soil, or the tormented soil, and try and clear those creeps away. They were not able to grab that turret. However, they do have top turret, so it's still 23,000 gold, almost.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. Soaz right now, again, Curse said it was all about Cyanide, but right now Soaz is the force to be reckoned with from Fnatic Raid Call. That even though they've just lost Dragon, even though they are now, overall, I would say, they're definitely down in kills, 5-2. Soaz has 2 turret kills, and he is dominating that poor Shen. I don't think I've even seen Anguish use his ultimate to assist another fight, because he's had to sit here top lane and defend against Soaz. And speaking of a 1 versus 2, oh my gosh, Malphite coming in. Malino taking a lot of damage, but he did dodge some of that. Anguish lands the taunt, and Curse are actually going to get away from that one. That was trippy, that Malphite.
Wow, Jace and Malphite, hammer swing, unstoppable force. Missed Malino because Jace knocked him out of it. It did hit Shen a bit, but he flashed over to go for the ulti, and it just did not connect with the synergy they wanted. 5-2 as Curse starting to mount those kills. We'll have to see if they can continue this. Ezreal very close to buying his Trinity Force. And we do have Corki with the Bloodthirster first into the Phage. So he went Phage instead of Doran's for that health, for that sustain, keep himself on his opponent. But that Bloodthirster will not help him output the same amount of damage as Ezreal can continue to build like this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those builds continue to develop. Right now you're seeing a very interesting build from Jace as well, who went for the early Sheen, then a BF sword. Now he's going back to Ruby Crystal. So I don't know if he's still going for Trinity Force now, but we've got definitely an interesting mix of items here overall for that Jace player. Slepper really pushing it onto Lamia. I believe he missed the Arcane Shift. There he goes, trying to get away from this when the ultimate goes down. So much damage, but Slepper still getting picked off
He's going to Valkyrie in. Exhaust is not enough. That is 1 kill right now. And now Zinix stuck in a 1 versus 2. Shen's going to have his ultimate, and Raiden is in danger. He flashes away. He's trying to escape, and it looks like he will be able to do so.
Wow. Such an amazing job there. They knew as Shen was coming in, the size of that shield was so immense. They just turned it and hauled back to their turret, knowing it was going to be a bad situation. Great job, though, keeping themselves CSing. They go back and grab golems, get a little bit of HP off the relic there, and they are going to be able to farm this up as it goes into the turret. Corki very good at last hitting at the turret. You can see him using those artillery shots to just take it all out and give himself that gold. It is right now 155 to 182 as Slepper continuously keeps that lead. 190 as well for Extinct in mid.
Yeah, just phenomenal mechanics here by these mid lane champions. You're seeing about 200 minions, the highest in the game for both these mid lane players. Xpeka currently the leader in minion slaying at 201, but not far behind at all. And again, champion kills matter quite a lot too. Extinct doing a phenomenal job on Morgana as well.
So both APs going for a little bit lesser of expensive items, still quite expensive, but more synergizing with their team on the Abyssal Scepter. Really shredding magic resistance, but giving themselves a little magic resistance as well as that AP that's so much required. So they're really able to be aggressive because of that in and out mobility, as well as to just help their team in the fight synergize.
Yeah,
looks like Soaz noticing something here as he's changing forms. That is going to give him a bit of a movement speed. They're looking at mid here as they go to push down the turret, lacing down the gate. They try to go for a 3v1 situation. Extinct on the other side. It looks like they will be able to surgically take out Malinow. Very nice job there coming around. And like I said, that early tower giving Fnatic the ability to roam is not going to be good.
Yep, and that is exactly what that Fnatic lineup wants to do. And that this early in the game, at only 20 minutes, Dr. Mundo cannot survive 3 champions on his own. The ability to burst him down was phenomenal, and even though he took that black shield from Morgana, it just did not matter. And Soaz going man mode in, going for this golem buff. His team is following behind. They do know they've dropped out that Dr. Mundo, and now the whole team is here. All 5 from Fnatic want to take this golem buff away. That golem has fallen. They've got the stun off onto Soaz. Soaz not in a great shape, but an amazing ultimate here from Leona. 1 goes down. Will they get the second? Angush will fall. That is 2. Now 3 kills ultimately in a row for Fnatic, and they are now chasing this poor Ezreal. He will Arcane Shift away, but what a great twist of fortune here for Fnatic. It was 5-2. Now it's 6-5.
You know, Freak, the mobility of initiation, or the range, I should say, of initiation that you were speaking of earlier, almost 1,000 on some of these champions. It looked like they were completely split in that fight. Somebody was doing wolves, somebody was doing blue, and they came out on top during that fight because of the over-the-wall initiations, because they just sat back and pinched them into that choke point coming to Dragon. Beautiful job by Fnatic in that fight to really pull it in their favor.
Yeah, ultimately a lot of props to Leona there. She really made that fight happen in the best way possible because, as you said, they were split up quite a bit, but she managed to make the fight happen in the best possible way for Fnatic, where she managed to lock down just the right champions, even as they came up from the side and tried to surround Fnatic's lineup. It was still a 5 versus 4, and if you can initiate a 5 versus 4, 9 out of 10 times, you will win that matchup.
And we see our Xpeke farming mid. We have another 36 seconds on Dragon, and we can already see Curse mobilizing for that. They had the first one. They know they're down a bit here. 3,000 gold. This Dragon is going to help immensely. They just took out a ward, so they're going to back out of that position, make sure they find more, and then head back to Dragon. Most likely they have 4 focused on bottom right now.
Yeah, definitely Curse knows the respawn timer here. They know it's coming up so very soon. They want to push Lamia away. You can see the early Valkyrie did not want to get jumped by Shen. He knows he can die in a 1 versus 2 and needs to be very, very aware of what Curse tries here.
Wow, Soaz up inside the base right now on Slepper, taking 3 to 4 turret shots before he's able to get out of that one. And nobody's really up there to help. They're focusing on the bottom. They're all trying to get that tower pushed, trying to get that Dragon objective. Very nice. It's going to help them out a lot. Knowing most of the team of Fnatic is up top, they're going to start this here, and we'll see if we can get enough damage down on it as Corki is going to be harassing this.
Oh, nice move. Lamia and N-rated. I don't know why I said Yellow Star, by the way. I just realized I said Yellow Star back in the pregame because it was Corki, and I was like, wait a second, what? Lamia, there we go, an amazing Corki player.
That's right, I'm pretty sure I called Xpeke the jungler.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I didn't call you out on it. Of course, now I have. But wow, Soaz jumping in up on a Slepper. A lot of pain going off, but still getting pushed back. Pulsefire Ezra, oh my gosh, he landed the phage proc. Soaz a little bit afraid here, trying to run away. Will run through that gate. and he will be safe as he escapes.
Yeah, so has figured out, he's like, I'm not going to make it out of this alive. I got to turn around and put some aggression towards this, and it was just enough for Phage to wear off. Fnatic has actually taken themselves from the top of the map to the bottom while defending Dragon with 2, and now they get to Dragon dance for the 5 or the 4-on-4. Very nice job by Lamia down bottom, as well as Leona, helping that to stop Dragon N-rated, doing a very nice job as to support this game, making sure he's always in the position to take the damage before his team. And it looks like they may be able to get this, but here come 3 strong. Leona dodging Dark Binding and Tormented Soil. Expected going in strong, but he gets dazzled. He may get exploded here. Soul Shackle goes out, and it looks like they are going to win a quick 4v2 initiation, taking out Leona and Ari quite quickly. But are they left with enough abilities? No, they're going to say first we want to push mid, then if we have enough time, we'll take the Dragon down.
I think it's a really, really good choice right here because Fnatic has done a phenomenal job, as you can see by that 4-1 scoreline, of taking away turrets, and that has allowed them such great map mobility and map vision advantage that Curse says, no, we need to push, we need to take this over, we need to kill off these turrets, and you will see them immediately run backwards, and that's going to be their time to say yes. Dragon, well, okay, first couple of raids, then Dragon is ours.
Yep. So they actually move in, take those wraiths. You can see no vision there on the map, and they are going to be they're going to be able to take it rather. 7-6 on the kill score. 26 minutes into the game, a second Dragon going over to Curse Gaming EU, and it looks like they are going to be just about evening up the gold now at 37,000 apiece. However, with 2 turrets ahead at 4-2, Fnatic has a lot more map control.
Yeah, and we do have an instant replay ready of that prior fight right before Dragon, where Pekka and N-Rated dove in on that Curse lineup. So whenever we're ready, we're going to have that queued up for us. You can see Curse just pushing around, getting ready to push in, and they want to take this over. So here we go. We're going to slow this one down. Pekka jumps in because Extinct had dropped his thing already, but there's the stun right away from Zinnik, and Extinct is flashing in. There's the dash from Shen, the dash from Leona. Cyanide ran backwards to escape the Morgana shackles, but then it was too late. The stun went off, and 2 members of Fnatic had dropped down already. Ezreal even came in to support there. He dropped his ultimate from across the map, and that was all she wrote. It was unfortunately Morgana. It was Extinct saying, hey, I'm in the front. Deal with it.
Yep, and that's where a lot of the global presence comes into that team. You have that Shen, you have that Ezreal. So they're going to be able to help each other out from across the map. And it was a very nice job by Extinct as well. That Soul Shackle beautifully separated the team, as you said. Melano was forced to run down, or Cyanide rather, forced to run down. They just weren't able to get Lamia in there as well. Losing Expeke, and then your support is going to be very tough if you're trying to dance that Dragon.
All right, so now we've got to come back and figure out what are these teams' plans right now. So let's take stock of what Fnatic has. Fnatic's MVP is going to be Soaz on Jace. Jace, big freaking deal. 3 kills, 250 minions. He's massive. He's got most of a Trinity Force. He's got a Bloodthirster. The dude is big. He's going to be the force to be reckoned with for Fnatic here. He can be a melee champion, can dive in there, land a lot of crowd control, or he can be ranged. And conveniently for us, he switched to ranged form, gains a lot of attack speed, just attacks from distance, deals a whole heck of a lot of damage. He's the biggest deal here for the Fnatic lineup. However, up on Curse, it's Extinct on Morgana. The guy can initiate fights, can force Fnatic to separate and run away and turn 5-on-5s into 5-on-2s. She can save her teammates with Black Shields. She can keep herself alive with Azonia's Hourglass. She is a scary champion. You do not want to deal with Morgana right now. And so it's going to be, which of these champions is going to be bigger? Now, of course, both these lineups have big farmed attack damage carries. You've got Lamia on Corki, who's really, really big. And you've also got, of course, the attack damage Ezreal carry from Slepper on Curse. And they're going to be doing a lot of damage. And speaking of him, he's going to get blown up so fast that the shield will keep him alive. And here comes the counter initiation. Leona ult goes off, but Morgana is chasing in, doing what she can. Can she do enough damage? N-Rated has fallen down. Pekka getting very, very low. Will pick up Zinnik, but it's a 2-for-1 so far. And now Lamia trying to run backwards. Cyanide very, very low. Slepper taking so much damage, but they can't do enough. Soaz, though, will jump in. There's the kill picked up from Jace. Right now, Corki trying to run away, still alive, just barely at the top here, trying to get away. And can Jace do anything else in this fight? Looks like he's going to stay in the middle, and Lamia will just try to run away.
Oh, Lamia trying to make it. Looks like, I don't think he got hit by that. He could get himself the execution here, and it is going to be, he will save himself from giving away any gold. And we just saw there, Jace is a formidable opponent, but he's got a few cooldowns to work with, and he's not able to throw it out in the fight like they were. Extinct Soul Shackles, again, destroying and separating the team of Fnatic. Raid call. They weren't able to get back into the fight. They pushed Lamia off instantly. Jace was forced to run down towards Dragon, full health in the fight. And if we see the HP on Curse still after that fight, they have back now. Oh no, actually most of them haven't backed. They really aren't even hurt.
Yeah, and the one thing you're seeing that's difficult right now for Fnatic is the two big melee champions for this team. The two big tanks is N-Rated's Leona and it's Cyanide's Malphite. Neither of these champions have had phenomenal games. Look at Leona's items. Basically, her tank items are a Ruby Crystal and a Heart of Gold.
Yep.
She does not have much health. She is not durable. She can be killed first in a fight very easily. Look at Cyanide. Cyanide has a Heart of Gold, Giant's Belt, not too bad, and a Glacial Shroud. So he's a bit bigger, but it's only 80 minions, no kills, only 2 assists. He's only level 11. Extinct is already 18. Ezreal, played by Slepper, level 17. They've got a 6 to 7 level advantage over the main tank of Fnatic. Those guys are melting so incredibly quickly that Fnatic does not have a front line that can hold up to these champions, which means that Soaz and P.E.K.K.A. and Lamia, they're taking damage within about 2 seconds into a fight because those tanks, they need to get out or they're going to die. But you look at what Curse has. Malino's gigantic on Dr. Mundo. He's got 5 kills, and he's got a Warmog's armor. You look at Taric. Okay, yeah, Taric's not going to be very durable either, but look at Shen. Shen's got a Sunfire, he's got a Phage, he's got a Ruby Crystal, he's working towards Aegis right now. There's a big front line here for Curse that Fnatic does not have.
Yeah, they have to keep Corki and Ari on the outside in this next fight. If they cannot, they will not be able to do enough damage to take down even Dr. Mundo by himself. Malino is so tanky right now, and he's only going to get more tanky. Like you said, 5-1. However, Fnatic Raid Call doing a very good job at keeping themselves in this game with those CS, with the minion kills rather. 3 champions over 250 right now, with only 2 champions on Curse over 250. So they're really keeping themselves in the game, making sure they're getting that golden experience under their belt. Sometimes levels will be the thing that matters in the fight.
Yeah, but right now we're just seeing them kind of neck and neck. While the carries are big, again, those tanks for Fnatic are just a little bit small right now. We'll see if they can gain that experience that they need. P.E.K.K.A. and Soaz are 18. That is a big deal. The levels, at least from the carries, Fnatic is definitely keeping up. But Malino is 14 and Cyanide is 11. Those jugglers are 3 levels apart. That does matter quite a lot. Now, right now, Curse, they're positioning themselves for an attempt at Baron Nashor. That Oracle's Elixir is still on that Dr. Mundo for Malino. It means he is sweeping away all of that vision. Now, thankfully for Fnatic, they're Corki. Lamia, he just took out Dragon. That's going to be a very, very big deal. There's a lot of gold picked up there. You see that gold at the top. 46 versus 47. Very, very close right now. It's going to be up to who fights the best. At the beginning, we said, you know, the champions, they play different ways, but it's going to be up to player skill. Right now, the golden experience is close enough that it's up to player skill.
If Malphite can get a Frozen Heart on him, it's going to be very helpful for the team in general. But right now, just looking at the health bars in general, you can tell it's not going to be a good fight for Fnatic if they cannot initiate well. Moluno and Anguish both just walking around, so much HP under their belt right now. They may initiate in this fight. They don't know they have a ward on them, and it looks like Cyanide maybe dropped right away. N-Rated will follow as he tries to get outside, dropping on the AD carry, and they are just going to be able to chase Fnatic out of that bush, not yet dropping anybody on Curse. X.P.E.K.K.A. is the next focus, finally getting a Foxfire kill, and then one onto Lamia. Beautiful job. X.P.E.K.K.A. trying to get out, will turn to the charm, dodges a beautiful mystic shot by Slepper, and he may have enough AP or enough magic just to get the damage down, but he does not. And they pick up the ace, losing, as I said before, the one more than happy to take the damage. They lose Zinnik on Taric.
Yeah, that was phenomenal there. Anguish kept on his ultimate. That Shen, he was waiting on his ultimate for so long, and then finally Malino got low enough that he was like, yeah, I'll ult you now. I'll go ahead and switch that one over. And he kept him alive, and Dr. Mundo regenerated about a quarter of his health through his ultimate while they were like, oh, he has a shield, never mind, we'll back off. And now you can see Malino about half health now. He's regenerated so much of his health back. That front line is just not dying for Curse.
They really, going into that situation, they should have placed wards all the way in front of them at max range. They walked right into a ward that was around the elbow. So what worked for them there on Curse's side was Fnatic didn't think they were seen. Right as they crested that elbow that can't see around the corner, they initiated with everything they had, and not even Cyanide could stay alive through that.
Yeah, they just did so much damage. And eventually he will catch up, of course. He does have some gold generation items right here. You actually look at the lineups here, and Ari actually, she's completed a Guardian Angel along with that Deathfire Grasp. She's going to burst someone down very strongly. Her damage output is absolutely phenomenal here. And I think she actually had sold her Sorcerer's Shoes for Mercury Treads at some point, because I don't remember her having those earlier, but that's going to allow her to survive stuns a bit longer and survive against Extinct. Looking over at what Morgana has, she also has a Deathfire Grasp, has that Abyssal Scepter, but on top of that, she has Zhonya's Hourglass, which is just a better combination with her ultimate. She can put down those Soul Shackles, pop Zhonya's Hourglass, turns her invulnerable. She can't move, but she's invulnerable. And it's going to allow her to finish out that channel. Those tethers will stay, and then champions will get stunned, and there is no counterattack to be had against Morgana when that happens.
So here we are, 35 minutes into our first matchup here of the EU Regionals. 15-9 in favor of Curse Gaming EU. 53,000 gold to 50,000. They are up by now about 4,000. 5-4 is your score, and we're gonna have to see what the next fight is. Looks like a Baron Dance. We do have numerous amount of core items on Curse right now. The Guardian Angel looking to be taken down, but all the cooldowns are gone as the Initiate comes in from Extinct. Beautiful dark shield, or black shield, and she is able to get out alive. They just made Fnatic waste ultimate after ultimate. Will they be able to take down Zendik? Mundo trying to come back in on Malino. Expeke diving in with Ari. Beautiful damage there from the burst. The AoE damage just too much. Double kill picked up by Expeke, and they are going to run this one right through Unstoppable Force, and it looks like they return the favor of Last Ace and bring it down onto Slepper for one of their own.
And there we go. They've picked up only one death. Their N-rated just kind of tanked that fight and said, yeah, you can kill me. I don't really care. That's fine. We're good with that. And everyone else just mopped up. That poor Shen all alone with no health. Not really the best place for him to be. And now Fnatic left alone for Baron.
Gonna grab Baron now. Dragon coming up in about 2 minutes. So they'll be able to head down there and get that after they start farming. But look at their base, Freak. Looks like they got a party going on down there by the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, that earlier push by Curse was absolutely phenomenal. And those minions are going to be soaking up a lot of damage. Those turrets are falling pretty quickly. No. That's actually going to die if there's no interruption here from Fnatic pretty soon.
Leona able to come in, but can she turn them? And every 30 seconds, you are going to get minions to spawn. So those minions just spawning at that 30-second mark are able to shut down those super minions, kind of distracted their damage a little bit.
Yeah, and now despite those super minions, right now I believe Curse is going to be afraid of that Baron buff. That Fnatic is going to want to stop the bleeding, hold that mid lane for a while. Now the outer turrets are pretty much fair game, right? Fnatic is stuck in their base defending a little bit, so Curse can look for opportunities to jump on the outside and take some outer turrets. But I think right now, Curse needs to stop and kind of regroup, take some map control, but they don't want to fight Fnatic. And in the meantime though, we do have an instant replay of that last, honestly, game-turning fight right now that put Fnatic back in. So when we're ready, we're going to see just what happened that allowed Fnatic to take a 4-1 lead in that last battle.
Slepper grabbing red before we switch over to that. You see these guys milling about here as they poise and ready themselves to re-enter back into the base.
Yeah, right now with that Oracles, they've just taken ward after ward out. But here comes P.E.K.K.A up in the mix. Melino taking so much damage. Bursted a Dr. Mundo, and Extinct all alone, stun lock through. Zendik goes down as well. A triple kill for Lamia Zealot, chasing down. And oh my gosh, that was a great fight. But let's watch the previous one. So has so much damage on the English, getting dropped out rather quickly, taking a lot of pain. And you can see the damage out. But Extinct jumps in, puts his ultimate down. So has flashed away, Cyanide runs away. Enrita jumps on, and now Extinct is scared. He's going to try to run backwards. Ezreal lands his ultimate, but it gets scarier from here. Zendik makes a little bit of a mistake coming into this fight, because surprise, here's X-P.E.K.K.A, here's Malphite, here's Soaz. So much damage being dealt. Zendik knocked into the brush, getting dropped down. Shield ultimate is not enough, and there we go. N-rated and Lamia coming back in onto Extinct and Slepper, stopping them from interrupting that push, and Lamia just baits Ezreal. Baits the Arcane Shift, makes him chase him to the turret, and Fnatic is ready to go back into this battle. Look at them dive in there, now in a 3-for-1, and bam, the damage of it going off Extinct, getting dropped down almost immediately. Slepper taking so much damage as well, and that's going to be the rest of that fight. A nice cleanup there for Fnatic.
And we do see here on main screen An inhibitor and turret has been taken down. Coming out of the hands of Fnatic, they're 16-16 at 40 minutes into this game. We have now definitely reached the late game. Each one of these champions is scaling to the hardest of their ability. Core items have been finished. We have multiple Guardian Angels on the map. Corki just picking one up. Now Soaz has one. Also on the other side, Slepper with a Guardian Angel, Angus with a Guardian Angel. So these fights are going to be going on for over 30 seconds the next time we see one. They are going to be neck and neck, and you're going to see those GAs being used by those tanky champions in the middle of the fight. Everybody's going to want to get the amount of damage down they can, cycle out, get those cooldowns back up, and get themselves back into the fight.
Yeah, and we're seeing right now that Malino is getting his way back up to this mix. You can see N-Rated going to go up. Let that Lizard buff go over to Lamia right now. And you're going to see right now, these teams are going to look to build advantages. That the Golem buff, sorry, the Baron buff is still here. Actually, no, wait, what did I, oh yeah, sorry, the Baron buff almost timing out here. Only about 30 seconds left for Fnatic. They cannot expect to have a fight start in that time. Fnatic gets to know that Baron buff will not be there for them the next time they get into a battle. What they need is Golem, Lizard, things like that. Their Guardian Angels need to be up. They need elixirs possibly, and you're actually going to see that. That Corki does have a red elixir on himself, giving him bonus health, giving him bonus damage, and they're going to want to push with that.
A very dominant swing of this game in favor of Fnatic now. We'll have to see what they can do with this momentum. Beautiful job as they push down. They have awesome wave clearing ability, as you can see right there, picking up a little bit more gold to put under their belt. 65,000. They were down by 3,000 Freak. Now they're up by 5,000 in the gold game. 8 turrets to 6 in favor of Fnatic on that one. And we are nice guard finding on Expect. I do they choose to initiate. Soul Shackle goes out, catching all 5 members. It will be thwarted though. The flashes go out. The focus down onto Extinct. He puts himself too far out. Not enough shield from Shen. And it looks like Curse is pushed back into their base. Cyanide continues to follow. And Jace says, I'm going all the way in, guys. Soaz trying to make his Guardian Angel do some work. He is going to come back up. And look who comes through the front door. It's going to be N-Rated and Lamia to continuously do damage. They try to drop the Guardian Angel on Shen. Will they continue the focus under both Nexus turrets? They're taking down the Nexus turrets as well. 1 will fall. Now 3 push back out of the fountain from Curse. Huge damage on that push by Fnatic.
But right now, Curse is healthy enough. They're going to push them back out. Lamia is afraid of Slepper right now. The Arcane Shift, he forces the flash away. Can he chase up? Cyanide, no, the minions are in the way right now. And there is that wall from Jace. He's going to let them escape, increase their movement speed. They will get away with 2 kills, an inhibitor and a Nexus turret. Wait, no, sorry, both Nexus turrets? No, sorry, just one. I'm dumb. An inhibitor? No, not the inhibitor. Wait, yeah, they got, okay, start over. They killed the middle inhibitor. They got that earlier, though. They dove up that right-hand lane, and they took out 1 of the 2 Nexus turrets, and additionally getting 2 kills for free. A great fight there for Fnatic.
Oh, yeah, great job. Extinct had the right idea. He actually caught all 5 members in Soul Shackle, but they were able to just use that Jace Gate to run out or flash out. Beautiful job there to turn the fight around. Extinct kept going because he was like, hey, I'm doing a crap load of damage right now. You guys should follow me. Everybody kind of thought differently. So a little bit of miscommunication as these fights get more intense. You can see that coming into play.
Yeah, right now the ward's going to come back down onto that Baron pit. When Baron buff expires, you know there are only 3 minutes left. There are only 3 minutes left for that Baron to respawn. And so it's a really big deal that you realize when Baron goes away, it's coming back. We need to get ready. We need to make sure that we can stop that next attempt there. Fnatic right now at 5,000 gold and 2 kills. Their middle inhibitor has respawned again. Fnatic are slightly winning in this matchup, but it is still anyone's game right now. So Fnatic regroups in the middle. Baron is back up. Curse Gaming getting ready to push back through their own mid lane as they know Baron has respawned. They had just warded it. They know what's going. Wait, Baron hasn't respawned. I'm silly. Sorry.
Soon. You got 20 seconds on it, about 10 seconds on it. They're going to clear these wards out. We're going to see what they can do at this last Baron dance. We do have 5 members of Curse just outside their base in that mid lane. And they are going to start heading over towards Baron. A beautiful job by Fnatic. They're just kind of saying, hey, let's back up a little bit. Wait till they get there. We'll make them make the first move. N-Rated, seen by Melino. Cleaver misses, and they're going to just kind of head back here. The dance begins as they tango it out for Baron. Looks like Curse isn't too interested in that right now. They don't have any vision. Oh, going around the backside. He cleavers in. They do get the cleaver sound, so they know they're going for it. Vision ward from Xpeke. Over the edge is going to give them full vision of the lane that Curse has into this fight. Oh, wow. Malino taking so much damage from Jason Xpeke. He is forced to get out with his ultimate on. Xenic could be going down right now, but nobody wants to focus Tarek just off the bat. Beautiful job by Jace, continuously pushing Malino out. Extinct on Morgana is not even able to get in there. Slepper having his way, though, finally taking damage, but he wasn't able to take out Lamia. Lamia sustaining himself with that Bloodthirster on Slepper. They finally take him down. Beautiful organization by Fnatic on that fight, microing each other in and out to dodge skill shots.
And right now in a 3-on-2 with 2 Guardian Angels still up, they're going to chase down onto Extinct. He is very, very dangerously low on health. And Soaz from around the wall lands that. He's going to try to dive in. Can they do the damage? The rocket will miss, but the auto attack will land. And that is now a 4-for-2 on that fight. And Fnatic diving up this mid lane. They're going to charge in, take this inhibitor down, let their minions rush on in along with them. And they have 1 turret between them and the Nexus kill. There's the gate. They will rush forward. The damage is on. And it looks like the respawns are still pretty far apart. And Fnatic look like they're going to take game 1 in this quarterfinal match for the European Regional.
And a great matchup that was, as we were saying before. Soaz on top, 7-1 on Jace. A beautiful job by him. He went very strong early. Went for that early phage, got a lot of sustain in that lane, and we were also looking at Extinct on Curse, playing an amazing Morgana game, really fueled himself for a lot of his kills, but just wasn't able to get those core items fast enough. And you know, this is really one of the first times we haven't seen a lot of the APs just rush power. They rush synergy for their team. They rushed what would help the team in general, what would be the best for the overall outcome of each fight. And you can see a few of them did that as well. That Abyssal Scepter on Ahri as well. And then they both went for the Deathfire Grass, knowing that AP is multiplying. We can do a little bit of damage here. So we'll have to see. We're going to throw it to Rachel on the stage right now.
Thanks so much, Riv. I'm here with Ocelot from SK, and I wanted to ask you a couple questions about that game, because I saw you down front. You were watching real close. It seemed to me the turning point was at 36 minutes when Fnatic was able to take that Baron. How important was Baron to turning around this game?
Was really important. Was actually the core of the game, you know, having a bruiser like Soaz, so fed at top lane. He did like so good. He's like the MVP of the game by far, and I think he made them come back. You know, I think he made them. You know, on the other hand, like Curse Gaming, I think they should have backed earlier. Even, you know, I think that that team fight wasn't needed. You know, but on the other hand, this shows you how teams like Fnatic are like so hard to beat. You know, like doesn't matter how many kills, how much gold you're ahead. Fnatic or one of these teams, like they can always come back, you know?
I hope those teams are listening. That was some solid advice. So what turned that game around entirely? I mean, I know they got Baron, and I know that Soaz was pushing real hard on top lane, but what was the overall way that they turned that around?
Yes, Soaz. Like that guy, no, that guy just played perfect. Like, I think Soaz literally carried Fnatic this game so hard. Obviously, like, Extinct was playing so well for Curse at the beginning, and Xpeke was a little bit screwed in lane, but afterwards he could like come back as well. I think the whole Fnatic team has this mindset that every game is comebackable, you know, and I actually feel good for them, you know.
Well, thank you so much, Ocelot. That's an excellent mindset for Team Fnatic, and I'm going to throw it out to Joe Miller in the crowd. He's got another fan, and we're going to see who thinks is going to win next round.